If you're looking to be a sales rock star, you have to be able to possess something pretty important. And here's what a sales rock star has to be able to do. A sales rock star has to be able to build trust with their prospect. That's how you're able to sell the prospect, is by building trust in you. I read a book called The Trusted Advisor. And in The Trusted Advisor, they talked about 4 categories in order to be able to build trust with a prospect. We're going to talk about those 4 categories right now so that you understand what it takes to be an absolute sales rock star. The 4 categories are this: credibility, reliability, intimacy, and self-orientation. See, the credibility and the reliability are things that most salespeople try to do. But the more effective way to be able to build trust is actually through intimacy and self-orientation. We're going to look at all 4 of these categories so that you have a roadmap on exactly what you need to do in order to build trust and be that awesome sales rock star. The first way to build trust is through credibility. The way that we build credibility is how we look, how we react, and how we talk about our service or product that we're actually selling. See, what needs to happen right now is this: the customer, the prospect, should be able to feel that you're knowledgeable about what you're saying by how prepared you are for the phone call, how prepared you are for, at the end of the day, the stalls and the rebuttals. That shows credibility. That shows that you know what you're doing. See, in order to establish credibility, one of the best ways to do that is by checking the facts. If somebody says something to you, you can always check the facts to build some credibility. But the problem is that in phone sales, that's sometimes tough to do, to have somebody check on the facts that you're giving them. So here's what you need to do in order to build credibility and show facts. The best thing to do is let your customer experiences be your facts. Use the experiences that you've had and the stories you've had of what you've been able to do for other people be your facts to establish credibility with that other person. So the way that you act, the way that you sound, the way that you talk about the experiences with other customers will build credibility and will be your facts. You see, most salespeople will try to earn the credibility by selling on the features and on the benefits. But to be a sales rock star, you understand that most people buy emotionally. You have to sell them emotionally. And the emotional connection is by how you sound, how you look, how you react to what they're saying. So here's a great thing to tell somebody. From my experience, Joe, most people I talk to feel that Medicare is too confusing and doesn't make any sense. Do you feel the same way? See, what that's doing right there is it's showing credibility. It's showing that your experience with other people shows that you know what you're doing. You've talked to people that find this confusing. And at the end of the day, you're trying to find out if they associate with those other individuals. That's how you build credibility, is you build credibility through how you talk, what you say, and at the end of the day, how prepared you are for the other person and being able to connect with them. The second way that you build credibility is through reliability. See, we trust those that we feel are dependable and that we know really well. Who are those people that we feel are dependable, that we know very, very well? We buy from those that are friends because we know our friends are dependable. We know we can count on them. At some point in your life, you've probably at some point had to rely on somebody else and play the game, I call it the trust game, where you've leaned back and let yourself go and you trusted that somebody else grabbed you. That's reliability in somebody else. That's what you have to present yourself as to the prospect. They have to feel that if they are going to fall back, you're going to be there to actually grab them and pick them up. That's what they need. Talk about previous clients and use their first names. If you want to build reliability, start talking about your previous clients. Tell them how you helped build them up, how you helped make sure they didn't fall down, and use their first names. See, a lot of salespeople will end up talking about past customer experiences, which is great, but they're not going to use first names. Use first names. So I had this customer, Betty Ann. She was in this problem, and here's what ended up happening. She had this, this, and this happen, and here's how here's how this service actually impacted her. And at the end of the day, she picked up the phone and called me and thanked me so much for having helped her that she referred her friends to me. I helped out her friend Sally Ann. I've helped out her friend Joe Bob. Whatever it might be. I'm having some fun, obviously, with the names. But you get what I'm saying. Talk about previous clients and use their first names. Convey to them that you'll always be there for them. If they can feel that you're always going to be there for them, remember, selling is emotional. If you can emotionally get across to them that you're going to always be there for them, you are going to build reliability. Here's something you can say. If you're like me, I get very frustrated when I'm sitting on hold or somebody doesn't call me back. I want you to know, Joe, that if you call me and I don't answer, it's because I'm probably helping someone just like you. But if you leave me a message, I will make sure that you get a call right away. See, that is building reliability. The third way is intimacy. See, intimacy is the most common mistake that salespeople do in building trust. There's no lack of connection. There's no finding of common ground with the other person. Remember, you have to sell the relationship, and the relationship is going to require intimacy. When selling over the phone, make it personal, make it emotional. Use first names when you're talking to somebody so that they feel that they're talking to a friend that they can rely on. See, intimacy is tough because it requires us as salespeople to be very vulnerable. And being vulnerable has something else as a side effect. As a sales rock star, when you're vulnerable, you have to get very comfortable with rejection. And see, that's a problem with why so many salespeople end up being lounge acts, is because they don't get vulnerable. They're not comfortable with rejection. They're worried about what they're saying to the other person that their colleagues might hear. And at the end of the day, they might feel that their colleagues will make fun of them because they said that. Forget about them. Your colleagues are not paying your bills. Those around you are not paying your bills. You're paying your bills. So take the time to connect with somebody. Have some intimacy with them. Don't be afraid. Be bold. Be courageous. Ask questions that go 2, 3, 4 levels deep. That's how you build intimacy. Is at the end of the day, you show that you care about someone. People don't care what you know. They just want to know that you care. See, once you can get the prospect comfortable expressing their emotions, you'll get them to buy from you. So my advice to you is this. Sell them you so that guess what? They buy you. They don't buy your product. They don't buy your service. At the end of the day, they buy you. They cannot go without having you. That's how you build strong intimacy. The last part of trust is self-orientation. I call it making it all about them. See, you cannot make it about the sale or the money. You must make it all about them. You have to disconnect yourself from the sale, because if there is a sale there in the first place, you will get them to buy because you made it all about them. Don't chase the money or the sale. Let the money or the sale chase you. What you need to do is you just need to sell the problem, not the solution. What you need to do in order to have self-orientation or to make it all about them is this. You have to ask open-ended questions to get them engaged and realizing that you are making it about them and not about you. That's all about self-orientation, is making it about them, not about you. Here's what I would do when I would get on the phone and talk to somebody. When I got on the phone and talked to another person, I made it all about them. And here's how I did it. When I jumped on the phone, my wife didn't matter to me anymore. My two beautiful boys didn't matter to me anymore. The only person that mattered to me was the person that I was talking to on the other end. I was so focused on them that nobody else mattered. I made it all about them. Now, as soon as I hung up the phone, guess what happened? My wife and my kids became the most important person in the world. But I had to block them out of my mind to make the other person the most important. Because if I made it all about them, at the end of the day, they would see that they had somebody on the phone that cared about them. Remember, people don't care what you know. They just want to know that you care. Here's something you need to do. Focus your attention on defining the problem, not guessing on the solution. Let me repeat that again real quick, if you missed it. Focus your attention on defining the problem, not guessing on the solution. Talk to them as a friend and visualize their success after they've purchased your product or your service. If you want to make it all about them, at the end of the day, visualize that prospect at the end of the day being a customer, using your product, using your service, and at the end of the day, having an amazing result and an amazing experience, because not only did they come your way, but the service or product that you sold them actually took care of their problem. You see, someone that makes it all about the other person provides an absolutely amazing experience that the prospect cannot say no to. At the end of the day, sell them you. Sell them the problem and not the solution. And at the end of the day, you will be not only their trusted advisor, but you'll be that sales rock star that they've been begging for and that they want. Go be a sales rock star.